Om Shanti. We usually say 3 times. Om Shanti. You can join me. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. When we say Om Shanti, the literal meaning of Om Shanti is, Om means I am, Shanti means peaceful. So just saying, not only saying, but before speaking, I just stay into my original self of peace and spread the vibrations of peace around. And so, question arises, Om means I am, but who really I am? Do I say I am a body? No. What do I say? My body. When I use the term my hand, my head, my body, it means I'm different from the physical body. There are 2 things, you and your body. If I say my sari, I'm not sari, sari and me. 2 things. Similarly, when I say my body, it means me and my body different. But who am I? We all know there is a soul in the body which runs this body, like a driver runs the car. So who is the living? I am the living being, body is non-living. I am eternal, I am perishable, body is, I'm eternal, I'm imperishable, body is perishable. So when I have the understanding of my real self, then what is our day-to-day practices that while walking, talking, doing things, I have very natural awareness. I am not this physical body, but I am a soul. And soul in the whole body lives in the middle of forehead. You know, when we talk, the soul sees the soul and talk. If I see your back, I said, I've met you. I only saw you from back. Meeting is when the soul sees the soul. Or when we go to the temple, we put a tilak there. Or when the blessing given, hand goes there first. See? So very natural gesture is there, but we have no awareness that I, the soul, I sit in the middle of forehead, but soul is sitting incognito inside the body. You can't see with the physical eyes, but you can know that there is life in the body. Right? So too, when I realize myself, I am not this physical body, but on the other hand, when we become so conscious, our natural qualities of the soul emerges in our behavior. We all look for peace. I, the soul, has 7 main qualities. One is, I am peaceful soul. As a soul, I am pure soul. I am powerful soul, loveful soul. I am knowledgeable. I am blissful, and I am happy soul. These are my original qualities. As a soul, I am the embodiment of these qualities. The question arises, if I'm peaceful, what causes peacelessness? If I know the reason, remedy can be there. So I always give examples. See the water? The originality of the water is coolness. You put your hand, it cool your hand. But same water, if you put it on the fire, now it'll burn your hand. Put off the gas, cool again. So what had happened? Originally it's cool. The company of fire makes it leave its coolness and become hot. So too, originally I am peaceful. But the company of bad, company of evil, company of vices makes the soul leave its original quality of peace and become peaceless. See, anger, one is very nice, he's a very kind person, but sometimes the company of anger, not only his peace or her peace, the peace of the whole house goes. How much violence is due to anger. So what causes of peacelessness is the company of anger. Take greed. There's enough to feed everyone, but some are storing, some are dying with anger. Hunger. The big nations eating small nations. For few pennies people are murdering. So what's the reason of suffering? Is greed. Take attachment. We possess. When we lose, how much suffering is there? Take ego. I am this. Who are you? I'm rich, I'm beautiful, I'm more sensible than you are. So what this I ego, we hurt the feelings of others. Think lust. Every bhajan we sing, that we say lust, greed, anger, jealousy, hatred, ill will, revenge, all are bad things that the soul is possessed by. And that's how it's suffering. And the main reason is that we have forgotten ourselves. We are peaceful souls, not these bodies. And body conscious give rise to the vices. When I practice being soul conscious, it's not there is a soul in the body, but I, the soul, runs this body. So when I have this natural awareness, I interact with others with my qualities, with my virtues, with my goodness. But when I become body conscious give rise to the vices. Vices fight with vices. Anger fight with anger. When you rub two stones, what happens? You all know. Spark comes. See, anger fights with anger. But if on the same stone you rub sandalwood, what happens? The nice fragrance comes. It becomes the pillar. So too, if I practice being soul conscious, then my natural qualities are on the surface. I interact with my natural qualities and I give happiness to others, and happiness comes back to me. See what I mean? So what is the initial practices to become soul conscious? And living in this very negative world, sometimes we forget our morals. Right? And during the whole day, our battery keeps running out. And by the end, totally flat. I know this nice sweet brother said to me, "Sister, whenever I sit in the meditation in the morning, my stage is so good. But when in the evening I sit in meditation, my mind goes all over. Why my boss did this thing? Why my colleague this thing? Why this happened? Why that happened? All this why clouds my mind. I'm sitting in silence, but still I'm not connecting. My battery is not charged, which is totally flat during the day. See, so how to charge our batteries? Put it to the main socket. So to how I'm going to charge. I'm sitting in meditation, but mind wanders. But sometimes we feel, I could feel the atmosphere, beautiful. When you were chanting, it was so nice, so peaceful, so comfortable, right? How can we cherish this peace with us and take it to our homes and then be peaceful and happy all the time? Are we happy all the time? No? Peaceful? You see the Lord's. So how can I have total control on myself? Right? So I feel myself in meditation, that mind does not wander, right? In order to control my thoughts, not to wander, not to think negative, always be positive, I need to understand what really mind is. Like 2 hands, 2 feet, the whole structure is called body. Soul consists of 3 things. There are 3 faculties of the soul. So, thinking power of the soul is called mind. What is mind? Mind is my own thinking power. I can think whatever I like, for how long I like, it's in my hand. But the other thing we know, that the very function of mind is to think, think, think. You can't stop mind being thinking. Have you ever noticed that is there any moment when there is no thoughts in the mind? It just goes on and on and on. Because it's like the heart function is to beat, beat, beat. So rather you carry on breathing. So too the function of mind is to think, think, think. You can't stop mind being thinking. But what we learn to, we think creative, we think positive, we think good, we think pure. That is in my hand, but I can't stop mind being thinking. You know the normal rate of mind thinking in a day? 60,000 thoughts a day. I don't know what we think. Just imagine, I don't know what we think all day. So I'm not struggling. When we sit in meditation, sometimes we struggle, mind doesn't go here and mind doesn't go there. I'm not struggling, but I'm learning, how to put it into right direction. Whenever any negative thought comes, immediately sit in silence and think, is there any purpose of me thinking negative and have fear in my mind and think all sorts of areas? No. Let me see the positive side of that. Right? See? So when I learn to put the thoughts in a different perspective, that I am not thinking waste, I'm not losing my energy thinking. Right? Mind thinks, intellect immediately interrupts and think whether I should or not. It decides. The decision power of the soul is called intellect. It decides whether I should or shouldn't. Is it right or not right? Good or bad? According to decision we perform actions. If you can't decide, you're confused. So when you decide that action performs, repetition of actions are my habit, and deeper form of habits is my personality, that we call in Hindi sanskaras. Mind thinks, intellect decides, according to decision I perform actions, according to my actions my personality or sanskaras are formed, according to sanskaras thoughts arise in the mind that circles around. Up to now, my personality traits of sanskaras are body conscious. If someone hits you, what's your reaction? Don't tell me you put the other cheek on. I was giving lesson to a family, and there was a little boy, a 6-year-old. I said, if somebody hits you, what would you do? He got up, he said, Auntie, I'll hit them back. He's only 5-6-year-old, who taught him to hit them back? Mother didn't say that, but it's natural body conscious reaction within us that if your voice is raised, I can speak more loudly than you are. Very natural. These we say, up to now, our sanskaras are our body consciousness, right? And now, I have the understanding I am the soul, my original innate sanskaras are of peace, purity, power, love, knowledge, bliss, happiness. So even if somebody is not behaving, somebody is angry, but my intellect is not saying, okay, you react. Because I have this understanding, I am peaceful soul, a very loving soul. So I am not reacting the way others want me to react. But my intellect is saying, you must have done something wrong to upset that person. I'm not blaming that person, but thinking, where did I go wrong? Or if I didn't do anything wrong, he might have had a hard time in the office or whatever, but I am not going to react just because other person is not behaving well. That's we calling controlling ourselves. When I sit on the seat of soul consciousness and self-respect, then I have control on my emotions. See what I mean? Then I'm thinking, and my intellect is not saying, okay, to behave or react as the other person wants me to react. Usually what happens? If I'm sitting peacefully, nicely, happy, there comes someone in the home, my relatives maybe, my husband maybe, his mood is off and he shouts at me, where goes my happiness? Where goes my happiness? And so-and-so is so nice, so loving, I'm so happy. Right? So what I always say, my remote control of my emotions in the hands of others. The way they press the button, the way I behave, right? But now, there are two buttons, negative and positive. If you press my positive button and you say, Sister, you're so nice, and I say, thank you. And if somebody presses your negative button, how you react. But both buttons are now positive. Because this is my original quality. I am very peaceful, very loving soul, very pure soul. If you press the negative button, Sister, why did you say this thing? I said, thank you. How is that? Good idea? So do not give your remote control in others' hand the way you want, the way they want to make you behave. But your happiness is in your hand. So what causes peacelessness in life is behavior of others. When we understand we all are different, we all are individuals, we all have different nature, different way of thinking, different way of behaving. See, on a physical level, not two people are the same. Face is same, but not two faces are alike. Such distinction. So when we understand the difference, and in sanskara way, in behaving way, in our habits, in our nature, we all are different. We say that this world is a drama stage, very common phrase. body is a costume. I am an actor playing different role, right? So others are also playing their role. So understanding when I'm dealing with other people, they are playing their role. Every actor has a different role to play. Let me give such regard and respect to the fellow actor, right, and carry on playing my role. But what happens? We say we are actors. We never say we are directors. What we do, we stop playing our role and start giving directions to others. Then we say nobody listens to me. But I'm not a director. So respect and regard to the fellow actors playing different role, but I am playing my role. I'm not going to go upset that so and so said this thing, because that's the line he has to speak. He spoke. That's the line he's given to speak. So understanding variety of people playing different role, but my role is I play very peaceful, very loving, giving regard, giving respect to others. I am not going to criticize anyone. I have selfless, unconditional love to shower, because we all say we all are brothers. We all are one big family, God's family. So when we say we all are brothers, in what respect? Because as a soul, the children of one Godfather, we all souls are soul brothers. When I just have a vision and awareness, we all are brothers, and my vision is brotherly. When such spiritual love emerges in my heart for others, doesn't matter what they're doing, such good wishes in my heart, and I learn to tolerate whatever the play or the role they are playing. Some play villain's role, some play whatever role, and whatever they come in my, whatever they just, very nasty or whatever, but good wishes in my heart. I always give this example. There's a lovely pictorial, a picture in our pictorial. A boy is hitting the tree with a stone, and the tree in return giving fruit to the boy. How is that? Can we do that? So and so is not behaving well, but in my heart I say, God bless you, may God give you happiness. But I'm not taking sorrow, because I have connected to God, who is the ocean of happiness. He's telling me, child, don't give sorrow, don't take sorrow. We pay attention not to give sorrow, but we take sorrow. See, little something wrong, somebody said it, and I feel very emotional. I feel sad. I feel crying. Why? Because I accepted it. But if you sit on the seat of self-respect, then it doesn't matter what said it. And I know who really I am. So when we learn to deal with people, the key word is emerge your tolerance power and have good wishes for others. There are many problems which causes disturbance as well, and I lose my sleep. I think and think and think, there's no solution. And what happened? We become problematic. This is what we say, any problem comes, do not be the embodiment of problem, do not blame others, do not worry, do not do this, but just be the embodiment of solution. Think in silence, is there any solution? If not, wait and see. There are many problems in life came and go. Right? What we hold on to at that time. So Don't put unnecessary burden on your mind and then start worrying. Because if there is natural solution, it'll come. But invoke God's power. The right time at the right touching will tell you what to do. Success is there. But don't panic. The key word is have patience. Sometimes we do wrong, create problem for ourselves. We have many weaknesses, we make many mistakes, we don't have any control on ourselves. So just sit down and think, which is my typical sanskara which causes in my way of trouble. So then work on that one by one. And don't give up. Sometimes we start ourselves working on it. Then after a while you say, I can't do anymore. And you come back to the same again. And the key word is determination. Have determination, but you need guidance. We work on ourselves. We go to the temple, we go to churches, we go lectures. Such a long list of do's and don'ts are given. We come home, we the same again. Don't tell lie, don't do this, and love your neighbor. Neighbor is so noisy. So practical. So what we need is, the information is there, what I should be doing, I'm working on to get better, but I have no power to sort myself, to bring about the transformation in myself. You need guidance. This is why we call it Brahma Kumari's World Spiritual University. We say university. University means study. Study means guidance. Right? When guidance is given to you, step by step. You know, when you join the school, you don't even know. The child doesn't even know ABC. But studying, it becomes the headmaster of the school. Yeah. Studying. So what is the aim of this study? We go to the temple, so many images. They're human form, looking like us, yet we worship them. We never think if the image is existing, murti is there, they must have been living sometimes. And they are human beings, why we call them devatas? If a statue is existing, they must have been real life, like the statue of Nehru and Gandhi and Churchill existing. They've been in life, they've done something good in life. It's an example in front of us. You should be doing what they done for the nation. So all these murtis are there, but we don't even think why we worship them. But they are the example in front of us that we should achieve those divine qualities, what they praise, and we can become like them, devatas. Why we call them devatas? When they were living, they have divinity and divine qualities in their life, and that's how we call them devatas. If we achieve those divine qualities in practical life, we can be also like them. If someone speaks nicely with etiquettes and manners, हम कहते जैसे देवी है. And if someone is very rude and not behaving good, do we call them Devi? I'm not going to say it. One we call Devi, one we not. Both are human beings. But their behavior is telling me one is Devi and one is not Devi. So if I change my behavior, if I achieve those divine qualities in practical life, I can be a Devata. So the aim of this study is Manushya se Devata, from human beings to Devata. And how? Aim is that Nar tu aisi karni kar jo Narayan banja. Man performs such actions that should become नारायण, नारी तू ऐसे लक्षण धारण कर जो लक्ष्मी बन जा. Achieve that characteristics, divine qualities, and become Lakshmi. So when we have that aim in this study, and what guidance is given. Now, if someone is a doctor, he makes you doctor. Someone is a lawyer, he makes you lawyer. But there is no Devata around who makes us Devata. Is there any Devata sitting? We don't have those divine qualities that we teach. So here we just need the Supreme Soul who is all powerful, ocean of all the qualities and virtues and these powers. He is the only one. We call him God, Father. In what context we call him God, Father? And our physical fathers are different, yet we call him God, Father. In what context? Like soul and body, two things. Body is given by bodily parent. Soul is the eternal child of the Supreme Soul. Like child of a human being is a human being, right? The children of the Father is also the same as he is. Right? Soul is such a tiny point of light you can't see with the physical eyes. So is the Father of all the souls, is also a point of light whom we call it Supreme Soul. Is also a soul but supreme in qualities, right? And that's how we call him. He is the Father of all the souls, of all the religions in the world. He's a point of light, so subtle, you can't see with the physical eyes, but you can know him through third eye of wisdom. When you third eye open, that I am soul, then you can know he's also a soul, but supreme qualities. Now, there is so many gods and goddesses around. I remember I was standing in a temple way back, many years ago, in a London Southall temple, Lady Margaret temple, very famous temple. Mother came with a little child, with a little son, and he sees all the murtis, the Krishna Murti, Rama and all this. And he got so confused. He said, Mom, you said God is one, but which one? Now she got confused. She said, never mind, bow your head. Yet having all these murtis, of course they are respected, they have divine qualities, that's why we call them. But there are so many devatas, so many mahatmas, so many atmas, but we say God is one, Paramatma, Ek hai. And yet in the temple, in one corner, there is this image of Shivlingam. He hasn't got hand and feet or like the ordinary human structure. Yet all big temples in India, on all four corners, is the temple of Shivlingam. 12 Shivlingam temple, mainly on there. Rameshwar, Gopeshwar, Amarnath, Somnath, Pashupatinath, Badrinath, all these Shivlingam temple, even the deities shown is to, worshipping that. And some people just mix Shankar and Shiv together. Shankar is always shown in a human form. Shiva is a Shivlingam. The literal meaning of Shiva is benevolent Father. Shiva means dot. Shiva means the benevolent. He is the benevolent Father of all humankind. That's why this Shivlingam, point of light, how we worship, we cross beings. We need something gross to worship. So what we did, that point of light, we just created a round, oval-shaped image. And how all over the world in different religions, people believe God is one. Christ said, God is kindly light. They burn candles in the churches. If you see the flame of the candle, oval shape, and it symbolizes light. Oval shape means egg shape. We do Diyavati in Bharat. Guru Nanak said, Ek Omkar, this God is not a physical. So when we understand, and then we call it Shivlingam, Shiva means benevolent. With love we call him Shiv Baba, like a feeling of Father. And what is our inheritance from the Father? He's the ocean of peace, ocean of purity, ocean of bliss. He's almighty authority. He is the liberator. He is the purifier. And who he is? My Father, Father of other souls. That's why we all souls are brother souls. So how to connect to him? This time, as a teacher, he is teaching me the world history and geography from the beginning through the middle till the end. Children, you worship all these devatas, but you don't know why we worship, who they were, why we call them this. So he discloses all the history and geography. And as a Sadguru, he purifies me. Guru Bina Karti Nahi, he purifies me and liberates me and takes me back. When we remember God, on one hand we say, He's here and there and everywhere. He's in the pebbles and stones, He is in you and He's there. And on the other hand we say, Upar wala jaan. How we pray? Oh God, we don't do it like this. We point up above. Everybody points up above. And if I say this world is a drama stage, I'm an actor, where is my real home? Father and children must have been living together sometimes. Nobody knows. We call out for him, liberate us from suffering. Give us happiness, dukh harta, sukh karta, dukh dur karo. He must have come sometimes to dukh dur. Right? So when he comes, how he comes, we don't know. So at this time, he explains the secret. First of all, who really I am, who he is, where I come from, and how he comes. We're passing through Iron Age, we all know. What we call Iron Age is hell. Now, on the other hand, we sing the praise of Bharat. I don't know if you know it. Bharat Sone ki Chidiya tha, golden sparrow, घी दूध की नदियाँ बहती थी, river of ghee and milk. शेर बकरी एक घाट पर पानी पीते थे. Lion and goat drink from the same pond. That was Bharat. And आज का भारत, I'm not going to say क्या हो गया भारत को. What happened? It was, pure, it was peaceful, it was heaven, swarg tha, जिसको हम सतयुग कहते हैं, golden age we call it. और अभी क्या बन गया? नरक. We gone through the cycle, right? सतयुग, त्रेता, द्वापर, कलयुग. अभी कलयुग सदा रहेगा क्या? Right? सतयुग नहीं रहा तो कलयुग रहेगा. Golden age no more there. It become Iron Age. Iron Age is not going to be forever here. So what happens after Iron Age is going to be Golden Age. So how is going to be Golden Age? From one narak, from one hell, is going to the extreme heaven. It's not a human job. This is why at the end of the Iron Age, as it's going to turn, at the beginning of Golden Age, that's how God comes, right? And He gives me the understanding of I, the soul, that I am not this body. He gives me the introduction of Him. He is also a soul, but supreme in qualities. Now He has come to take us back home, but no impure soul can return back home. This is why He is with this study teaching us how to come to our original stage that we descend into the cycle, the purest deity form. See? And the period we call it now, the joining period of Iron Age and Golden Age, we call it Diamond Age. Or in Hindi we call it Sangam Yug. पुरुषोत्तम संगम युग, पुरुषों से उत्तम बनने का संगम युग. This is the auspicious confluence state, joining period, which God comes and then He gives me the understanding. Child, achieve divine qualities, become pure. This is the drama finishing. I have come to take you back home, but no impure soul can return back home. So when we sit in meditation, now connection is of two equal level. If I sit as a body conscious things disturb my mind. Body conscious people, possessions disturb my mind. When I practice being soul conscious, and then when I sit in meditation, now we sit few minutes in meditation, I let go of the consciousness of the physical body. I just think I am a peaceful soul. Mind does two things. Either it thinks or it experiences. So I start with thinking that I am not this physical body, but I am a point of light so subtle you can't see with the physical eyes. I am a soul. Just repeating that, I am a soul, very peaceful soul. I am pure soul, powerful soul. And one by one, whenever you sit, choose which quality you want to go into experience. So I just want to experience peace. I'm just thinking I am peaceful soul. Peace is my original religion. Peace is my innate quality. I am peaceful soul. Peaceful. I'm going into the depth of peace. Now slowly I'm experiencing peace, so peaceful. This is without the body. It's my original state. I am embodiment of peace. Just going into the depth of peace. I feel so nice. It is so peaceful. I feel so beautiful. Such a nice state of mind. I am experiencing the depth of peace, becoming very peaceful. I'm experiencing a very pure soul. All the impurities are washing away. I, the soul, I am the child of the Supreme Soul. He is the Father of all the souls. He is also a point of light, eternal Father. I'm totally detached from the bodily beings, bodily relations, bodily religions. I am the soul experiencing peace, and I'm experiencing the love of the Father, who is the ocean of love, who is the ocean of peace. He is my eternal Father. I, the soul, I belong to the soul world. sweet silence home, above the moon and the stars and the sun. In Nirvana, Nir means no, Vani means sound. Sweet silence home, which is called Brahman, Brahm element, where I, the soul, lives like ant, in my original eggshell, original seed form. My home is so peaceful. There's no voice, no noise, no movement, just silence. It's a land of peace, land beyond. It's so pure, so powerful. I'm experiencing my original stage of being a light, of being double light, no burden of any kind. I am a point of light. I'm having sweet conversation with the Father. Thank you, Father, for giving me the understanding how to let go of all these body conscious traits and become soul conscious and experience with all the qualities and interact with other souls with my qualities. Thank you for showing me the path to happiness, giving me the peace, giving me the understanding and knowledge of the whole cycle, giving me the understanding of the sweet silence home. I have to perform my duties and responsibilities in this mundane world, but now I know the way to back home. Sitting here at this time, through thought and energy, I could feel I could reach to home. This is called journey of remembrance. Now I have to be in my physical body to perform my duties, but I promise myself I'll spread these peaceful vibrations around the world. I give a smile whosoever I see. I give the happiness to a sad face. I share my attainments with others. Thank you for giving me such wisdom, such love, such peace. Thank you for inviting me. It's so nice to meet all of you. Thank you.